Hello everyone. Today we'll be taking a break from cooking to talk about something I'm a little more experienced with, animation. I actually get quite a bit of questions about animation and where to start, so today we'll be studying squash and stretch, one of the 12 principles of animation. A good way to see this principle in action is to animate a bouncing ball, so let's start there. Before we draw any frames though, let's establish a floor, which we can do by drawing a graph like this. When we draw the ball landing, we want to keep the floor in the same spot while the scene's focus, in this case the ball, moves consistently according to where we drew the floor. If we don't draw a floor, we might accidentally make the ball bounce too early or too late. Let's add one last thing before we start drawing frames. It's a good idea to know where we want the ball to move, so I'm going to draw an arc to help keep us on track. You may have noticed earlier that arcs are their own principle of animation, and that's good. These principles are meant to be used together to create fluid motion. Alright, now we're all set to start. A ball falling and bouncing off of the floor would look like this if we split it up into frames. In motion, the frames look like this. It looks a little rough, but it does get the point across. A ball falls to the floor and bounces back up. Simple enough. Let's change a few frames up and see what happens. Let's go to the frame where the ball hits the ground. All the energy from falling would be absorbed by the ground, and the ball would react by squashing downward and stretching out left and right like so. If we replay the animation but swap out the old frame with this new one, it looks something like this. By changing just one frame, we've made the collision look a little more appealing. Let's swap out 2 more frames. To show the ball is gaining speed and momentum as it falls, let's draw the frame before hitting the ground like this. To show the ball bouncing back up quickly, let's change this frame out as well. Now that we've swapped out 3 of our frames, let's replay the animation. When we compare it to the original animation we had, it looks much more fluid and we can see the weight of the ball shifting around as it moves towards and away from the floor. Now that we're happy with how this looks, let's make it a little more interesting. Let's add Kirby's eyes, hands, and feet, making sure to remember that he's moving forward so that we can keep the animation consistent. If we play it now, our finished animation looks like this. And just like that, we finished up our first animation. See you next time!